Hey guys, how's it going? I'm Financially Brodie, and in this video, I'll teach you all about the Disney Annual Pass. First, a little bit of story time. Let me set the scene. We went for one day. We only rode a few rides, but most notably for me, I rode the extremely popular space ride, Space Mountain. In fact, the only reason I got to ride Space Mountain was because of an employee that was standing right outside it. That employee gave me and my dad 2 FastPass tickets to ride. Those FastPass tickets allowed us to skip, if memory serves, around an hour, maybe half an hour of a line. Keep in mind, this was at the end of the day, so we were both tuckered out of waiting in lines. This means we had pretty much ruled out Space Mountain, as it was already pretty late and waiting in another line just didn't seem like fun to us. Even though we both would have loved the ride, we had both decided against it, simply because we only had one day at the park and wanted to make the most of it. That's why when an employee gave us the chance to skip the line, we sprang at the opportunity and we rode the ride. Space Mountain is one of the only rides that I can look back to at Disney World because I was so young that I don't really remember much of it. However, Space Mountain was really a standout because of how amazing and revolutionary it was of a ride to me. Now, imagine for a moment if we hadn't got the chance to skip the line and instead didn't get to ride the Space Mountain ride. It would have been very easy for the employee to just pick another group and not let us skip the line, which would have had us not going on Space Mountain. Like I'd already mentioned, we are already tired of waiting in long lines and it was pretty late. So what if we hadn't had the chance? What could we have done? Well, the obvious solution would have been to just go the next day. However, we couldn't, as we had only bought one-day passes, and also we were leaving for home the very next day. But what if we hadn't? What if we had allowed ourselves an extra day at Disney World? What if we allowed ourselves another week, even a year? That's right, we're talking about the Disney World Annual Pass. There are many reasons why we wouldn't get the yearly pass, mainly because we don't live near the Disney World, but I think the primary reason is because it costs an astounding $1,195, and that price is per person. That means that in order to make your annual pass worth it, you'd need to go to Disney World 11 times per person just to make the annual pass worth it by a few dollars. It's definitely not worth it for my family to do that, and I doubt it's worth it for many other families. Yo guys, Editor Brodie here. I just real quick wanted to explain that last scene. In that scene, I had said it takes 11 times per person to go to Disney World before it makes the annual pass worth it. That's because the Disney World passes at the moment of recording costs $109. So if you multiply that by 11, it takes you a little over the $1,195 for the annual pass. In fact, why would you even do that at all when there's so many other things you could do instead with that money? For example, you could buy 1,195 $1 cheeseburgers from McDonald's. Or you could buy 293 $5 Little Caesars hot and ready pizzas. How does 85 copies of War and Peace sound to you? If that sounds good, you should just buy that instead. Although, I really don't know what you do with 85 copies of a book. Maybe start your own library that only loans one book? How would you feel about 4 Nintendo Switches, except one of them doesn't have one button? You could buy that. All of that you could buy just skipping one annual pass for Disney World. But what if you were buying your hypothetical family of 4 annual pass tickets? What could you do instead with that money? Well, let me tell you. Instead, you could just gorge on $2,392 sausage McGriddles from McDonald's. You could buy around 1,448 medium-sized apples, or even better, you could buy 14 stocks of Apple the company. But let's say you wanted to buy a private jet. A private jet that costs around $3 million would cost you only around 2,510 Disney World annual passes. If you really want to ride a roller coaster though, all you need to do is buy your own roller coaster. Instead of buying 836 Disney World annual passes, you could just build your own roller coaster in your backyard. As long as you have the space, of course. But You know what the number one thing you should buy instead of 4 annual passes to Disney World? That's right, I'm sure you guessed it. It is 319 copies of Cats the Musical on DVD. Honestly, that is the best use of the $4,390 you would get instead of buying 4 annual passes to Disney World. However, if you want free entertainment, just subscribe down below. It really means a lot to me. I post every Saturday, so subscribing will allow you to keep up to date with everything that I post. Also, please be sure to like and comment down below as it really helps the channel out. Make sure to comment below with any suggestions you want me to cover. Thanks for watching. Until next time.